Good evening, this is the Athens Shade Tree Commission meeting for the 12th of November 2009. At the moment we don't have any tree permit or right-of-way issues, as far as I know, for the agenda. I'm looking at Ron Lucas just in case he's got anything from...
We had some come through the pipeline, but they ended up not being in the right-of-way.
Okay. In that case, we'll move to the landscape ordinance issues. One I think we can knock off this list for a while is Palmer Place. They were down there because there was no sign of planting when I made up the agenda, and there are now a significant number of trees down there. I haven't actually counted them, but they've made a very big difference to the appearance of that site. Just putting in those evergreens and the other trees. I asked John also if we could get an update on Kroger's. I'm not sure if you've had time to get anything of that.
Not with everything that's been going on here recently, but maybe I could ask you guys. I'm reading through all the information I've had before, and I still don't really know who I need to specifically contact in regards to this. Could you tell me?
I would contact the manager at Kroger's.
I thought it was OU property, so should I talk to facilities or?
Well, this gets to a question of your area. Okay. Is it the leaseholder who has to, or the person, or is it the owner? I think it's the leaseholder that has to fulfill these obligations.
Just coming in midstream, I want to make sure I get in touch with the property.
That's where you start.
Okay.
Yeah. OU were involved because they own adjacent land, and we got their permission to plant some of these trees, or the Kroger's could plant some of the trees on the adjacent land that actually belongs to OU at the back.
Okay.
There's a green strip back there that they could use to plant some trees in. And so that was the only connection really with OU.
I will contact them before the next meeting then.
Very good.
Find out something at least.
Okay. Then the other item we've got is 555 East State Street. And is that why you're here?
Yes.
If you'd like to come to the podium, introduce yourself, name and who you're representing. We've got a copy of the plans up here, a hard copy.
Okay. My name is Jim Thomas. I'm with Panagino Architects. And I also have, I'm not sure what you were sent, so I brought kind of a highlighted copy that shows the green areas, the property line, and also some elevations of the proposed building. I know this site previously had been approved for a new branch bank building. That fell through, and had not been able to get another bank to go in there. So now there's a proposed building to go in with two tenant spaces, one for Verizon and one for Dunkin' Donuts. We had to increase the parking based on those two tenants' requirements for a certain number of parking spaces. I believe with the sketch that I handed out there, we have 19 trees now proposed. That's including existing trees, one relocated tree, some new trees. Highlighted, the spaces I highlighted will either be grass areas or plantings, shrubbery, flowers.
Okay. This site, according to my calculations, requires 19 trees.
Okay.
But 19 large trees.
Large trees, yes.
And so we're going to have to work with this because, or we'll work with you because the things like the Cleveland pear and the crabapple are obviously not large shade trees.
Okay.
And so we're going to have to replace some of those. The first question I got though is, actually John, what is the required parking for this area?
This is a Title 41 project, and actually we're reviewing it tomorrow.
Okay.
As a group to figure out if it meets all the setback requirements and parking requirements. I don't have the answer yet as to how many are supposed to be there.
Okay, because it's the required parking of the city that we have to go by.
Right.
And it's only required parking that can really displace tree requirements on on a property.
I understand.
The fact that your tenants want to have more parking than might be required, I don't know that yet because John's obviously got to review it, means that there may be space there that they're using for parking which really should be used for trees under our ordinance. Now, right at the front of the property, I know you've got high voltage cables. There are already 3 existing crab apples there.
Yes.
We're obviously stuck with having to use trees of that size at the front. But everywhere else, I think we should require large shade trees to be planted. I'm looking around at the rest of the commission to see if they agree with me. But that's what I think.
Oh, yeah.
Emily?
Well, I haven't tried to do the measurements, but I just wonder if you can replace all of these smaller trees with large trees without having them too crowded.
Well,
Yeah, I like the idea of large trees rather than small trees.
I think in this case, because of unless there's more spaces that we can open up through removing parking spaces, and I clearly don't really want to do that unless we have to.
How many are on there, parking spaces? I don't have the...
I have 39, I believe,
Parking spaces.
for about 4,000 square feet of building, mercantile.
5,400 square foot of building, I thought it was a...
Was it 54?
Yeah, I mean, even at 1 per 200, that's only 27. So we might have some additional spots there. So we can put an island in or something to that effect and get a couple more in there. Isn't there a high power line there on the front there on these things?
Right in the front, yeah, and that's where the crab apples are. There.
Okay.
It's the rest. That's five out of this list of 19. So 14 of them are certainly far enough away from the power lines that we could think about replacing them. Replacing those trees with large shade trees. The October glory, that's large, I suppose. We've counted it before
Yes.
Right, but it's
as large, but
definitely on the small side
it's on
of
the
large.
smaller side. And we prefer some sort of diversity in there. I know it's only one existing October glory, but if you can find other maples or oaks.
Well, I think that the October glory is as large as red oaks generally are, which are...
Well, certainly within the lifespan of this building.
I wonder about...
Oaks take 100 years or so to get to full maturity quite often.
I wonder about possibly some lindens here.
Yes, yeah.
And also, one of the things we run into before is that sometimes people will choose a columnar form, and we don't want that because that's not providing shade.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes, there's at least 2 or 3 of those on one part of not on your side, but a little bit further over, I think, where that was done.
Where's the dumpster going to go in?
The dumpster is on the south end. I don't think it's noted on your, but if you look on the southeast corner, there's a small dumpster enclosure. I believe I'm not sure if it's in place. I know the pad's in place. I don't know if the enclosure's been put in or not.
And are you going to have any vegetation around that or screening?
Yes, it's got 2 trees north and south of it.
It will need some additional screening.
Right.
That. I mean, obviously we have to allow you access to it, but it is supposed to be screened.
And it is supposed to have a masonry screen wall also.
Yeah. So, it obviously won't meet the full requirement, but given the space we've got there, where are we in the process, John, in terms of, we don't want to impede things, because it looks like we can come to a reasonable solution. But,
tomorrow morning, myself, Paul Love, and Andy Stone will get together to review the setbacks and all the other requirements and the curb cut and water, sewer, storm, all the other requirements of Title 41, and that's when we would determine the number of parking spaces. And I'm sure we can work with you, if they can remove some in the areas, maybe come up with an island if we need more. I thought, though, as we discussed before, was there some trees that were planted elsewhere because of this entire project at one time?
Yes. When this was originally reviewed, there wasn't enough space under the old landscape ordinance for the requirements then, and I think that probably wouldn't even be now. And so Mr. Knoll agreed to plant some trees on the adjacent baseball field. Those trees, I don't know if I've got that count. I did do a count of that area. I think there were about 10 large trees and some smaller trees in that area. It would be possible to make up, I think, some of the difference by planting additional trees there. I'm always happy to see additional trees put on park space. I think we'd have to get the parks people to agree to that. If that's
How many of the trees that were on that plan are considered large trees? And how many more would they need?
There's only one large tree on this plan.
Okay.
They're required to have 19 large trees. They've got 14 trees on here, one of which is large, but the other 13 should be large. And so I'd like to see as many of those 13 as large shade trees as we can get.
And then if they're willing to change or do some of that, I'll let you look at that.
Yeah.
I'm not
It would then mean
which one.
the ones at the front basically count for either a third or a half, depending on whether you view a crabapple as a small or a medium-sized tree. Let's be generous and call it half. That's 2.5 trees at the front, basically. So if they get 14 plus 2.5, that's 16.5. They're still missing 3 trees, basically. So if we could get 3 trees by planting more trees close to the building, that would be one possibility. I don't know whether that would affect your building design significantly, or if a parking space could be opened up. Although that would probably only be for 1, at most 2 trees.
Well, if they've got 39 spots, and if I'm going by the 1 to 200 rule, which I can't tell you off the top of my head what the regulations are, that would, like I said, only require 27. So, we're looking at additional 12 spots right now that I'm not asking them to maybe remove all of them, but we can find 2 or 3 to make the one here or there. We can play with that.
Like fattening the perimeter areas just a little bit would go a long way towards the longevity of the trees. If they could do it.
Well, they can't. There are roads there. Those property lines that are drawn on in yellow on here are actually going straight down the middle of the service roads that go between the properties. There is no buffering.
But they can, move their way in that way.
Yes. Yeah. They could. The islands themselves could be increased in size. That would help the trees, certainly.
That'd be probably easier than making another island, and you'd increase soil volume a little bit. Want them to live as long as possible.
Yeah. So really, the Title 41 you need us to approve, but...
Well, I think what we can do is take a look at it, and if it's all right, maybe we figure it out tomorrow and come up with a resolution, and then I sit down with you and say, this is what we come up with. And I know the numbers that you need now, so we can kind of do it from there.
Okay.
If that's...
Okay. Is the Commission happy with me doing that on your behalf with John, just to come to a final resolution on this one? I think we've got a great start. It's I think it's a good design, given the space that you've got. But as I say, the requirements are that we need these large trees there under the ordinance. The objective being to get 30% tree coverage in a reasonable time. 40% tree coverage in a reasonable time, yeah.
I feel there's too much pavement, and we should try to do what we can to take away some of this parking spaces and try to get some more big trees in there. And I would support you, advocating in that direction.
Okay.
We'll do.
Okay, then that's what we will do. Thank you. Ron Lucas, it's your turn.
I got a lot.
Yeah, you got a lot, and if you can bring up the ash borer thing as well.
Okay. Actually, we could start with that. The ash borer map is about 90% complete. And basically, what's been done is all the trees have been located in north of the river. And there's a few sections left south of the river, like Canterbury, that whole area, Sussex, Far Hills, Warren Road. Those haven't been done yet, but there's about a little over 400 ash trees located so far. So that's represented on the map. I guess the next step would be, once that is all done, what's our plan for removal?
Well, our plan for removal all along has been that any ash trees that are identified as damaged or dead should be removed. Any ash trees that are under AEP's utility lines, we should encourage AEP to remove them rather than prune them. We had spoken initially about any small trees being removed, but that's now 4 years ago, so they're no longer quite as small as they were.
So I would suggest that we come up with some type of procedure, a written procedure for the removal, because if we do run into a significant amount of trees that do need removed, we need to make sure we have the appropriate
I haven't looked at the data yet that you've given us, but is it broken down by size of tree?
On that map, it's not.
Okay, that was one of the considerations in terms of planning.
In the database, it is.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
And utility lines are also, you can separate out you can find which trees, which addresses are under utility wires.
Okay.
So they're...
I believe that map also shows planting sites. Is that correct, Jared?
Yes, it does show
that map shows planting sites.
They're pretty
planting
general,
sites after the
but-
removals. So. I think the number was there's 400 some change trees at around 200 planting sites that would be.
Now, does that
left
400
afterwards.
include the initial area that was surveyed as well?
Yes.
Okay, so that's all the data. Yeah, we'll need it broken down into size of trees as well.
So maybe we can work together to come up with some type of procedure, a written procedure that we have.
I have something to add that might be helpful. The Department of Natural Resources, we put together a sample emerald ash borer management plan. It's on our website, and there are at least 15 communities that also did an EAB management plan and posted theirs. They're linked to our website, so I can email that to you guys in the morning.
Okay.
Tree bid for fall planting. Five Springs Farm is the low bid. I guess the question I would have is, we have about $4,000 from the Tree Commission for funding fall planting. We can get some more money to do the Carpenter Street and Washington Street plantings from the Street Department, Public Works.
I would hope so. It's supposed to be in the budget.
However, I don't know if we're going to be able to cover all of it. The bid was around $7,500 or so. So we'll need to identify the top priority locations that we want to do. I've already, and we might get into this in item number 5 on the agenda. You want me to just wait for that?
No, we can do it, because these are all things that you're going to report.
I never got any response from the fairgrounds.
Okay.
So I don't think that we'll be planting there this year. Maybe we can start early next year to see if we can get those, and probably eliminate the water treatment plant site. That'll save us about 9 trees, probably around $1,200 or so. So we should be able to plant every other site.
That'd be good
if we do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next step would be that we would need to go out and physically locate those sites and do loop locates, because Mason wants to plant. He said he wants to plant by Thanksgiving. I don't think that's going to happen, but it won't be too long after that. While we're on that subject of the bid, he has a significant number of trees that he wants to give us, because he don't want to winterize them, and they're mostly 3 to 4 foot trees. So I thought those would be a perfect candidate for the Roosevelt Tower site. So I made a small plan, haven't actually mapped it out, but I included some red buds and some Norway spruce and some maples that he had. And I think I had some ginkgos in there as well to put at that site, if you think that would be good.
Yeah.
Anne's nodding her head.
Yeah. And if I recall, the water treatment site, part of that is behind a fence, so some of the smaller trees might be suitable.
Yeah, we might be able to use some of those trees there. Again, they're trees that he's going to get rid of.
Yeah.
You might as well take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to provide the equipment and the labor.
Yeah.
But we can do that for that site. So, moving along on that, I don't have a time frame on that. He was going to deliver them to the Public Works Annex as soon as he can. So, tree removals are still going on. I just had another batch. There were a couple on Elmwood, a Zelkova that's seen better days at the corner of Elmwood and State.
Oh yeah, that
And right
one's
across the
been
street
dead for
from
a
that
while.
is a maple that's dead.
Yes.
So we're going to remove both of those. And there's a one-armed tree on Maplewood in Wallace, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
It's got to go. Yeah, so I was trying to hold on to that tree as long as we can. It's still dropping parts of its one branch. But anyway, we're about out of money regarding that. I have a spreadsheet that I've been keeping up to date, and I'll get that for your minutes, and also for the Tree City USA application. Which brings us to the next thing, the Tree City USA application. I haven't started. I just needed an executive summary.
Yeah, I've started writing it, and I'll get it
I have all the minutes, and I have all the meeting dates. I need to do a couple more number crunches, and then we'll hopefully have it on time. But
It's okay, no worries. You guys are doing a great job.
Yeah, and we can put in there that we're going to host the meeting next year.
Yep.
Yeah, April 28th.
April 28th is the Tree City USA Awards that the City of Athens will be hosting. So, my ideas for that format, and just as some brainstorming that Ann and I did, a half a day luncheon. We'd start in the morning and have a ISA certified CEU course regarding street trees. So people that attend could get CEUs for that. And then we would go right into our luncheon and do the awards ceremony. We're looking at about a 3 to 4 hour block of time.
And you do this where?
We'll probably do it at the community center.
Okay.
And that'll be April 28th. And,
But
probably
maybe,
ask for assistance in planning that.
yeah. And think of maybe some topics that would be timely on April 28th. And,
Yeah, and maybe we can do our Arbor Day celebration that day too.
oh, good idea.
You know, so
Yeah. That sounds reasonable. Yeah.
all right.
Get it
It's
all-
close to Arbor Day.
Yeah, oh, yeah. It's like the day before, I think.
Oh, okay.
So that would, maybe we can roll that, tie that into somehow. Maybe do a tree planting around the community center. And that stems into my last item, Bicentennial Park. If anyone's been in Bicentennial Park, everybody aware of where that is? Okay, it's a star-shaped park at East State Street Park. It's pretty much due east, due west of the skate park. And if you look at an aerial photograph, you can see the star-shaped
Yeah.
tree plantings. It's really neat.
So is it,
Behind the pool.
it's beyond
Yeah.
the Master Gardener's
Yeah.
children's
Behind the
garden?
pool. Good. Yeah,
Oh.
John has it down pretty good.
Behind the pool?
Yeah, if you go to the pool's on one side of it, the pool's to the north of it, and those gardens are to the east of it.
Yeah, well, when he said the skate park, I was thinking.
Yeah.
The
Just west of the skate park.
the thing that surprised me, I hadn't noticed this before, was the way that it had been designed with increasing height trees as you go in
Right.
towards the centre. So in fact, you can appreciate
Yes.
some of it from on the ground
And
level.
a lot of the
pretty
point
impressive,
trees,
yeah.
meaning the point of the star,
Yeah.
are well. They're fine. But the other trees are just, some of them are dead. So I'd like to come up with some kind of replacement plan.
Well, one thing could be to replace like with like. That's always dangerous if the ones that have died out of disease.
I was thinking of going a pattern of 3. of particular trees.
Yeah.
Like, so if you just name trees, maple, elm, oak, and just repeat that pattern around the star.
Okay. And is it trees of that stature that have gone?
No.
Okay, because that, as I said, that was
They're
one of the
crab apples,
design
aren't they?
features that I rather liked when I looked at it.
Most of them are crab apples, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yes.
see, the thing is, I think they were designed as like a red, white, and blue pattern too. The blue
So-
spruce, the red sweet gums, and then the
these are-
white crab apples.
These are things to keep in mind.
Yeah, but there's
Yeah.
there's things we can find that fit the colors.
Can we
But
come
instead of
up
cutting
with
all
a,
those trees down and trying to replant, I'd like to
Who
have a
did it? For
plan.
those of you who've lived here long, who's responsible for that? It's such a neat.
It was really well done. It was. I mean, I came in '76, and it was fairly mature then. I mean,
Oh,
it had
really?
been there, so I don't know when it went in, but probably went in the '60s or maybe even very early '60s or maybe in the late '50s. I mean, I'm not sure.
well, in the
Yeah, I don't think
60s,
the
that
late
was when the river was channeled.
there's
And that
34
area
trees.
was turned over to development, I think.
Okay, so then that probably happened shortly there, right around that time
A
then.
tree bank idea.
Yeah, I have an aerial photo that includes our office that it has that site from '56, and it's still the Army barracks are still there.
Okay, so yeah. So then it was-
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It was pretty impressive. The design and everything was really very nicely done.
One thing we need to do, Ron, is document what's there as best we can
Okay.
before we take anything more away from it, so we can, if possible, try and understand what the design principle was.
Okay.
And see if it is
Maybe I
possible
can
to
go out with Dan
replicate it.
sometime and do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
David, that was the one I was talking about when you were in my office, and maybe some of the trees from that project we were just discussing could go over there since it's right there next
Yeah,
to
this
it.
is a perfect opportunity for tree banking.
Yes.
Yeah. And I know we discussed that at a meeting this year, and this could make it a reality.
Yeah, okay.
So that's all I had.
Very good.
Can I ask, what percentage of the trees at that park are in decline or dying or need to be replaced?
My rough approximate guess would be 60 to 65%.
Wow.
Yeah.
All the crab apples look
I
pretty
have them
bad.
struck with X's if you want to walk down there sometime and see.
Yeah.
I have white X's on.
Yeah, I'll do that. I have been there, but I didn't pay that close attention.
But it's still, even with the ones it's lost, looking from the bike path towards the swimming pool, it's still quite an impressive planting.
Yeah.
Maybe it'd be worth writing a letter to the editor and seeing if we can cultivate, some of those folks who have been here a long time and might know about it. Maybe people would want to donate for the next generation. I mean,
We'll see.
Or even to find out a little bit
Like-
more about the design concept and
Yeah.
things like that,
Yeah.
to try to try to complement that or reinforce that.
Okay.
yeah.
Certainly, that would be a good way of stirring up interest in it,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
see what happens.
Okay, we'll see what we can do. Is there anything else we need to discuss before we get down to the approval of minutes and other things?
You want to review the planning sites real quick? Or are we all comfortable with those where we picked the fall planning?
I think we've got enough, particularly
Okay.
given the fact you can pull
If any-
back on the ones you said earlier.
If anybody wants to see it, I have it pulled up
Yeah.
here, if anybody wants to see the area.
Anything else? Okay, minutes of the last meeting. I did send them out. I don't know if anyone needs a copy. I've got a spare one here. You can just review them. Albie put them together as best she could, but she did remark that they weren't quite as polished as she'd like them, so there may be some things in there that need to be adjusted.
Well, this is the one where you gave my report, isn't it?
I just handed it to him.
Thanks.
Oh,
Okay. And question about the volunteer hours for the Tree City USA application. Can we use those volunteer hours that went into the ash tree collection?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Wow,
Good.
that's going to put you guys,
Yeah.
you'll be at $10 per capita.
Good. You done?
I move we accept the minutes as presented.
Okay. Second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any objections to approving the minutes? No. In that case, we have minutes of the last meeting. The next meeting is due to be held on December 10th at 7 p.m. in the council chambers. Again, it's the second Thursday of the month as usual. With that, we'll adjourn this meeting. Thank you.